Brick Township Council to order. Madam Clerk?
Adequate notice of this meeting was provided and published in the Asbury Park Press and the Ocean Star on June 25th, 2021. Copies of the agenda were provided to the newspaper, posted on public bulletin boards, and the township website.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call up Sophia Gonzalez and Tyler Reinhardt to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'd like to take
Oh, I didn't do roll call. Jeez, I'm all excited. I was so excited to call you guys up. Give me 1 second. Do the roll call first.
Councilwoman Zepsik.
Here.
Councilman Minikino.
Here.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Here.
Councilman Mumolo.
Here.
Councilwoman Pontorero. Vice President Halloran. President Crate.
Here.
Thank
Sorry
you.
about that.
That's okay.
Now, I would love to call up Sophia Gonzalez and Tyler Reinhardt to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll have a moment of silence. Thank you. Madam Clerk, please accept and file all municipal reports.
I will, thank you.
Can I get a motion and second to approve the minutes of the July 13th and 27th meetings?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilwoman Zepsik.
Yes.
Councilman Minikino.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Mumolo.
Yes.
President Crate.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to call up the mayor and again bring Sophia Gonzalez and Tyler Reinhardt up to receive awards for their Girl Scout Silver Award and their Eagle Scout Awards.
All right, thank you. So this is the first time that we're doing this. We came up with the idea with the help of my assistant, Debbie Murphy, who actually came up with the idea of maybe inviting Eagle Scouts, and then now with the equivalent award of the Silver Award for the Girl Scouts, inviting them to council meetings, the people who are able to achieve it, because it's such hard work, and it's just a great event, and so it's nice to be able to honor them in front of the whole town, and everybody who watches it at home on TV or on the internet later on get to enjoy and hear about what the achievement you have done for our town. So first up is Tyler Reinhardt. I have a certificate of commendation, and Tyler has achieved the rank of Eagle Scout, and thank you for your exemplary dedication to upholding the ideas that guide Scouts, including service, faith, and good citizenship. And Tyler built picnic tables that are being used over at Angela Hibbert Park because Angela Hibbert Park was in need of some seating for pickleball and basketball areas. And Tyler, do you want to say anything more about your project and about what it entailed?
We built 3 picnic tables, and they're put around the open field for families to enjoy just eating out at the park, and it was just an amazing project, and I'm so glad that it went together well. Oh yeah, thank you so much to my Scoutmaster for making me such a great Eagle Scout.
And next we have Sophia Gonzalez Trellis. Sophia's Silver Award project consisted of workshops educating students about healthy eating as well as improving the greenhouse at Lake Riviera Middle School by using solar-powered climatic control, which are radiant floors, a solar-powered drip irrigation system, and a solar-powered automated composter. So congratulations, and this is in honor of you earning the Silver Award, which is the highest award a Girl Scout cadet can earn, and for your exemplary dedication to following and upholding the Girl Scout promise and the Girl Scout law. Would you like to say something about your project as well?
first of all, for helping me draft up all the plans. He is a licensed engineer, so he was able to help me with all the plans for improving the greenhouse. And while we could not build it due to COVID and all the restrictions, I am still grateful to not only him, but to everyone that helped me work on this project. And
We are on to the consent agenda. Madam Clerk?
All matters listed under item consent agenda will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. If discussion is desired on any item, this item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
Thank you. Resolution 4-1.
Authorize insertion of Chapter 159, 2021 Pedestrian Safety Grant.
Councilwoman Zapsik?
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes the insertion of a grant in the amount of $25,000 from the State of New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety for Pedestrian Safety Grant. The Police Department uses these funds to conduct enforcement activities to ensure the safety of pedestrians in high-traffic areas around the township.
Thank you. Resolution 4-2.
Authorize insertion of Chapter 159, 2021 Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over Grant.
Councilman Minikino.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the insertion of a grant in the amount of $9,000 from the State of New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety for the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over program. These funds offset the cost of enforcement activities on weekends and holidays.
Thank you. Resolution 4-3.
Authorize award of bid ambulance repairs.
Councilwoman Dion.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the award of bid for ambulance repairs to PL Custom Body and Equipment Manasquan with a labor rate of $95 per hour for auto mechanical repairs, life support components, and body repairs. Bid notices were provided to 12 prospective bidders from our bidders list, and 3 vendors picked up packages. 1 bid was received. The contract includes repairs to the Brick Police EMS ambulances as authorized by the Fleet Maintenance Supervisor.
Thank you. Resolution 4-4.
Authorize award of bid computer and printer supplies.
Councilman Mumolo.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the award of bid for computer and printer supplies in accordance with the schedule of prices to Office Needs, Inc., Clark, and the Treehouse, Norwood, Mass. Bid notices were provided to 65 prospective bidders. 17 picked up big packages. 3 bids were received. One of those bids was deemed non-responsive, and the remaining 2 eligible for award.
Thank you. Resolution 4-5.
Authorize award of bid Quail Run Jaywood Manor Drive roadway improvements.
Mayor?
Thank you. This resolution authorizes award of bid for the Quail Run Jaywood Manor Roadway Improvement Project to MECO Incorporated in Clarksburg, New Jersey. The amount is $329,867.19. The project scope includes milling, base repair, asphalt paving, replacing steel grates and curb pieces, reconstruction of drainage structures, installation of drainage pipe, drainage structures, new curb in selected locations, and replacement of existing concrete curb, restoration, and other miscellaneous work on both Quail Run as well as Jaywood Manor. Bid notices went out to 74 prospective bidders. 8 requested the bid packages, and 6 were submitted, with prices ranging from a high of $458,078.54 down to the low bid, which we're requesting to authorize, which is $329,867.19. Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution 4-6.
Authorize award of proposal professional medical services.
This resolution authorizes the award of professional medical services to the following vendors: HMH, Occupational Health, Eatontown, Raymond F. Hanbury, Neptune, the Institute of Forensic Psychology, Oakland, and WorkNet Occupational Medicine, Toms River. Requests for proposal notices were provided to 16 prospective bidders. 5 bidders picked up proposals and 5 were received. However, 1 proposal was deemed non-responsive. The remaining 4 proposals are eligible for award. Resolution 47.
Authorize award of contract through the Educational Services Commission of New Jersey, 1 purchase and delivery, 1 Toro Grandmaster 4500 for Parks Department.
Councilwoman Zapsik?
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes the reward of contract to Turf Equipment and Supply Company, Jessup, Maryland, in the amount of $72,086.20 for the purchase and delivery of 1 Toro Groundmaster for our Parks Department. The purchase is being made through the Educational Service Commission, New Jersey Cooperative.
Thank you. Resolution 48.
Authorize award of contract through New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Program, electrical parts for Drum Point Sports Complex repairs.
Councilwoman Dion.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the award of contract for electrical parts for Drum Point Sports Complex in the amount of $70,409.51 to Franklin Griffith Electric. This equipment is needed for repairs at the complex as a result of a lightning strike. The work is to be done by Township Building and Ground crews. The contract is for equipment.
Thank you. Resolution 49.
Authorize award of contract through New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Program, body-worn cameras.
Councilman Menachino.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the award of contract for body-worn cameras in the amount of $204,974. To WatchGuard Video, Allen, Texas, a New Jersey state contractor vendor. The cameras are needed to be in compliance with the New Jersey Attorney General's guidelines that all police officers, including the CERT team and investigators, have cameras.
Thank you. Resolution 410.
Authorize tax liens for property cleanups.
Councilman Mamalo.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the placement of a tax lien for the property cleanups at 34 Ralto Drive in the amount of $161.49 and
Try that again.
Something like that. 819 Constitution Drive in the amount of $216.84.
Thank you. Resolution 411. Madam Clerk?
411A is an inspection fund release for Pioneer Hose Company on Drum Point Road in the amount of $9,105.90. 411B is an inspection fund release for TS Environmental Contractors on Route 88 and Jordan Road in the amount of $636.01.
Thank you. Resolution 412. Ms. Bergen.
Thank you. 12A are tax overpayments for the year 2020, Block 43.06, Lot 11, in the amount of $7,211.23. 12B are tax overpayments for 2021, Block 383.03, Lot 95, in the amount of $1,449.86, and Block 252.18, Lot 50, in the amount of $1,822.66. Block 211.25, Lot 7, in the amount of $2,855.71. Block 563, Lot 56, in the amount of $1,545.87. And Block 43.06, Lot 11, in the amount of $10,063.32. 12C is a state tax appeal granted for Block 547.02, Lot 17, which is 317 Brick Boulevard, in the amount of $5,826.50.
Thank you. That ends our consent agenda. Can I get a motion and second?
Motion.
Second.
Open to council. Closed council, open to public for questions on the resolutions only. Ms. Call?
Nan Call, 18 Greenbrier Boulevard. I'm back. Mayor, good evening. As I said, in fact, I'm battle ready, as the television show I watch says. In my fatigues, I think they're called. But at any rate, I'm sad to see that nothing much has changed, which means nothing has improved. We don't use under God at this time when our country...
Excuse me, is there something on the consent agenda
Yes.
that you're questioning?
Yes.
Okay, please let us know what that is.
I certainly will. As I said, nothing changed. You're my servant, but you think that I am yours. So now, with that said, I'd like a lot of information about the pedestrian safety grant, not just the amount. I want to know what it's going to be used for, because God help us here in Brick. Pedestrians are not safe, drivers are not safe. So what is it going to be used for?
Were there any other questions on the other
Yes.
agenda items, so we can make note? Go ahead.
The drive sober is pretty explanatory, although not sufficiently stated or given to the attendees or television attendees. I'd like more information about what's going to be done at Qual Run, how many miles, roads, how many intersections. I heard a lot about drainage, but nothing very explicit about what's happening there. It's a lot of money.
Anything else?
No.
No? Okay. I'm going to just ask Ms. Bergen about the pedestrian safety grant. Is there a way we can provide Ms. Call with more information about that?
Sure. You covered in your comments that it's used to conduct enforcement activities in high-traffic areas, so the chief does use this quite a bit in the shopping plazas and so on and so forth, parks.
I'd like explicit information.
He hasn't assigned them yet, so this is generally what he uses them for, and they have not been assigned yet.
So it's just a blanket
Specific to
grant?
pedestrian safety.
When will we get information about exactly what they're using it on?
They're using it on pedestrian safety, details.
Details? Does that mean advertising and electric signs telling us to be careful of pedestrians?
No, it's foot patrol.
It's a foot patrol. Tells me nothing.
And then the question about the specifics to the Quail Run, Jaywood Manor Drive roadway improvements. There was a lot of detail in what was explained. I'm not sure exactly.
What lot of detail?
I can read it again for you if you like. The
Yeah.
project scope includes milling, base repair, asphalt paving, replacing inlet grates and curb pieces, reconstruction of drainage structures, installation of drainage pipe, drainage structures, new curb in selected locations, and placement of existing concrete curb, restoration and other miscellaneous work on Quail Run and Jaywood Manor Boulevard.
What is the area that's going to be milled? The square area. What is the rest of that, each thing? How much? Where?
I don't have that information
No, you
directly in
don't.
front
Well,
of me.
you're
Yeah.
supposed to have it. I'll call your attention right now to an article that actually said everything I said a long time before it, that State Senator Loretta Weinberg wrote.
I'm just going to stop you right there. You can say all of that during public comment. Right now,
That's not
we're all-
public comment.
Right, yes, it
That's
is. Only
about
now we're
this.
talking about what
That's
is in the
about the
agenda.
fact that you couldn't have had the information to vote on this in the amount of what you gave tonight, and I'd like you to read. I'll send you a copy. I'll send it to the administrator for Loretta Weinberg's comments in 2013. It was a op-ed saying that we should know exactly what facts you have that causes you to vote yay or nay. I'll send it to you and I'll print it out on a social media platform, because this is disgusting. And that's the only word I can come up with. The property liens. Which addresses, not the block and lot, which you didn't give me, but which addresses had property liens assessed against them? Public record.
I've read that.
Well, tell me what it is.
I read it when I made.
An address.
The address, yes.
Would you please repeat it? I've gotten very old in the time I haven't been here.
34 Ralto Drive for $161.49.
What drive?
Rialto. Rialto.
Thank you for the
And then
echo.
819 Constitution Drive, got that?
Yeah, I did hear that one.
$216.64.
216. I'm not going to bother asking because you're not going to take the time to really be explicit, but
Wanna know how many
I
blades of
would
grass they
like,
cut?
I have the floor. I
Actually,
would-
your 5 minutes are up, so.
Oh, no, that's not for this. You're supposed to give us complete information. This is not comments. This is a quest for information that should have been part of your presentation.
Well, there may be other
Take
people
it
that have
up,
questions.
take it up with the state on what it is constituted. And again, I'll send Loretta
Okay,
Weinberg's
but do you have any other questions
explanation.
about the agenda items? Because if you don't, I'm going to kindly ask you to sit down because your 5 minutes are up.
I'll take exception to that, and I'll take it up with Sheila Oliver.
Okay, thank you. Have
And the addresses for tax overpayments, the addresses should be given. You don't give us what we should, what we deserve, what we're paying
Thank you.
for.
Please be seated. Thank you. Anyone else for public comment on the agenda items only? Thank you. Seeing none, close public. Roll call.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilman Menachino.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Mumolo.
Abstain 4-6, yes to the rest.
President Crate.
Abstain, Falkenberg. Tree experts, yes to the rest.
Thank you.
No, that's wrong. That's the next one. I'm like, just, you know what, make note for next time.
Yep, got it.
I'm sorry. All right, now 413, bill resolutions, computer 2021. I'm sorry.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Computer bill resolution in the amount of $10,434,478.85.
Thank you. Motion, can I get a motion and second?
Motion.
Second.
Open to council? Closed council. Open to public for questions on the computer bill resolutions only. Seeing none, closed public. Roll call.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilman Menachino.
Abstain, Teamsters, yes to the rest.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Mumolo.
Yes.
President Crate.
Abstain, Falkenberg tree experts, as I said before, and yes to the rest. Thank you. Sorry, next page. Resolution 414, Bill Resolution Manual 2021.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Manual bill resolution in the amount of $1,808,705.61.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and second?
Motion.
Second.
Open to council. Closed council, open to public for questions on the manual bill resolution only. Seeing none, closed public. Roll call.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilman Menachino.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Mumolo.
Yes.
President Crate.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we are on to public comment.
Please note that each person addressing the council during any section of the meeting during which public comment is permitted shall limit his or her remarks to 5 minutes pursuant to Brick Township Administrative Code, Section 2-33B.
Thank you. During public comment, if you wish to make a public comment, please raise your hand first. We'll usually have one person at the microphone at a time. So if there's anyone that would like to make public comment, Mr. Sluka?
Good evening. I'm just going to read my letter, which you all got about August 12th, I guess. Dear Mayor Ducey, council members Andrea Zapsik, Vince Menachino, Council President Lisa Crate, and all council people and the residents of Brick. I was so happy to see that the council member Andrea Zapsik expressed so much concern for the people who live down in Mandalay area. She talked about how much she and probably Councilman Menachino, who both live in the same neighborhood, feel that these residents have been forced by the state, and she as a state government official has been forced to be employed at home She expressed much of concern for the residents of Mandalay because she tried working in a home near a window, and the noise from the vehicle traveling down the street at 25 miles an hour was so annoying and noisy, she had to close her windows. Councilman Mancino concurred that his analysis of the noise by showing the compassion for the residents of Mandalay, which is really great. Council President Lisa Craig said she also understood since she lived across the main road and the speed limit on her block was 35 miles an hour. I, along with many other residents, probably feel the same way about the noise from the vehicles, 100 feet away from their homes, hindering normal living conditions, whether they live on or near Mandalay or wherever the council members live. This is just noise from those vehicles that make their lives and your lives less palatable, but it doesn't really consider the dangers of airborne toxins that are blown into the households by the passing vehicles. If your child had to breathe these toxins every day, I'm pretty sure that the children's lungs would not be improved by the intrusion. And if the moms-to-be happen to live in neighborhoods and had to listen to that noise and breathe the pollutants, she also would not be thrilled. If a senior lived in those neighborhoods, I would feel confident in believing that he or she would not be excited to know that the noise and toxins entering their bodies will send them to the hospitals more often and possibly to an early grave. If parents in those neighborhoods send their child outdoors and they develop asthma or even had autism from the toxins, I do not believe they would be a flutter, but it's what it is, and so be it. Imagine the same scenario that occurs at 25 and 35 miles per hour, and I bet this happens from over 1,000 cars every day. But can you imagine that same scenario exists every second, every minute, every hour of every day, both day and night? And according to the New Jersey Turnpike Authority, which happens to give the tolls, they're saying there's 300,000 vehicles up and down the parkway every day. If you can imagine that, then you live in Evergreen Woods condominium. If you can imagine that, then you live in Greenbrier or in Primrose Gardens. Yeah, this may be the poorest side of town, but the people that area should also have the same lives as the other residents. It seems that the fate of many of who live in Evergreen Woods and have been seeking help and a normal way of life for 10 years need to be addressed as well. Evergreen Woods condo area, Greenbrier, Brick High School, Lanes Middle School, Town Hall, Birchwood, and other areas of Brick still need a wall and have been asking for one for 10 years. If there's a chance that after 10 years something will be done, a high wall of 14 foot to 20 foot and vast high and thick replanting of brush and trees are needed on the Garden State Parkway adjacent to Evergreen Woods, Brick High School, Primrose Gardens, Sutton Village, Lanes Middle School, Greenbrier, Town Hall, Birchwood Park, and other places in Brick and Ocean County in order to correct some of the damages caused by the illegal actions of the New Jersey Turnpike Authority. Every day, more toxins flow into the lungs of residents and workers. The toxins from the Garden State Parkway continue to kill our seniors, harm our children, and hurt the development of babies yet to be born and mothers-to-be. The council, the mayor, citizens, and employees should go to the hospitals, the libraries, and newspapers in order to seek the truth. And once you are enlightened, please stand up, speak out, and act with premeditation. At every council meeting, public engagement and reality speak up continuously to help the residents community. Thank you for your time, and I don't think I said my name and address. John Sluka, 950 Sylvia Court, and I yield back 21 seconds.
Thank you, sir. Someone else from public? Miss in the blue? Please just state your name and address.
Yes, my name is Dolores Rillo, 30 Lagoon Drive West, Nicheco Beach. My question is, we wanted to know what is going on with the dredging. Apparently there was a date or something that there might be some activities, and I was wondering if I could get some information on that to bring back to the residents.
Hi, how are you? I'm not sure if you're on the email chain when we send updates.
I am not. I kind of got in on Saturday at the little meeting.
Okay.
And they said that there is a date, but it is to my understanding that this has been going on for a little while now.
Sure.
And I just want to make it known that I moved to Brick last year, so my
Welcome.
husband can finally slow down and enjoy boating,
Very good.
and we haven't been able to do that.
Okay. So first thing is, after the meeting, I'll get your email address, because when we have an update on what's happening with that permit, I send a group email to everyone in that group. So I'd love to include you on that. This way you get the updates from the township. So Nageco is one of the areas that we have applied for a permit. So by the township applying for the dredge permit, a township-wide dredge permit, we've taken on all of the survey work, all of the necessary data that has to be compiled. It's a significant project, costs a couple $100,000 from start to finish for us to submit and get this permit. What the permit does is it makes it easy, much easier for people on private lagoons to do dredge work. We've done all of the required identification of the materials, the chemical analysis of that material that tells us where it can be, if it has to be dewatered or if it could just be transported somewhere else. So all of that's done in advance, which makes the permit process a lot easier for individual property owners. Whereas without that, you'd have to go to the state and do all the work that we did individually to get a dredge permit. So we've taken that work, so that would make it a lot easier for folks on the Nageco and the many other man-made lagoons to be able to dredge. So we are very close to having the permit in hand, and then we will outline the process for residents like yourself and communities like Nageco to come into the engineering department and just simply here at Town Hall get a permit for the dredge, which would be incumbent upon each of the lagoons to do their own private dredge project in accordance with the permit that we secured for the town.
Okay. Do
So-
we have an idea when that might be?
Well, the permit we expect to have in hand in short order.
Okay.
So we put in years of work to get to this point, so we're close to having the permit. Lots of other communities are kind of queuing up to be ready to go when the permit process is in place to come in and apply for the permit and do the dredging. If we've identified a dredge hole that we have to connect with the state to let us use, they have indicated that they would do that. And if there's a possibility of doing some sort of a pilot program, Nageco would be part of one of the communities that we would include in that pilot program. But again, there is going to be responsibility on each private lagoon association to do some of this work. We've queued it up to make it a lot easier,
Right.
but each community will be doing the dredge.
Okay.
So that's
Okay, I appreciate that.
kind of like the 5-minute overview.
Okay, thank you. I do have another question. There is a property, so we are at 30 Lagoon Drive. Across the lagoon from us is a property 15 Lagoon Drive East. The house has been vacant. I believe the owner is Gretchen Hadler, and the bulkhead is deteriorating severely. It's actually, it looks like it's ready to come into the lagoon. I do see a gentleman coming once in a while to do some cleanup, but I have to say, it's been so many years that this house has just been deteriorating, and it's my view, it's our view. And I'm kind of like concerned that this whole bulkhead is gonna come right into the lagoon, and it's right at our property. So I don't know if this has been addressed. I wanted to come here tonight and just kind of bring these two concerns out for us.
Ms. Birkin?
So I was trying to remember how I knew this property. So the township, and Mr. Brillis here is a member of our property maintenance board.
Okay.
And they meet monthly, sometimes more often, less often, depending on the cases. And this is one of the cases that has appeared before that board.
Okay.
So we are very well aware of the status of that property, where we have taken official action as a board to have the responsible party be responsible for the property, either by demolishing it or making repairs, and should they not comply, then the board proceeds with demolition orders.
Okay.
And when that's done by the Township of Brick, they would then, when the sale occurs, we would be primary in the lien to get our money back for the demolition. So we're aware of the property.
Okay.
It's moved through the township system, and it's case before the Property Maintenance Board, so hoping that we see some progress, and if not, the town will take action.
Okay. just from my end, and you're welcome to come on our property and take a look at it, it looks like it's ready to cave any moment. There's holes in the bulkhead, and the wood is severely deteriorated, so.
Yeah, we do also do bulkheading through liens. I think in this case, because it's before the property maintenance board, we take the totality of the site, whether it's a bulkhead, the
Right.
house itself, whatever might be there would be included in the order.
Okay,
So I'm sure that
okay.
that will be addressed.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyone else for public? Ms. Call?
Again, Nan Call, 18 Greenbrier Boulevard. And nothing has changed. Most of these statements have been going on for more than 10 years, as Mr. Sluka said. And I'm going to repeat some of the things that I've been saying over the years. Number one, I would like you to have a meeting at which you have somebody from the National Highway Traffic Safety and somebody from Trenton to talk about the traffic rules, regulations, what have you, because this town underwent a tremendous growth of older people during the 60s through the 2000s. It is not a rural residential area. No street should have more than 25 miles an hour, except for the ones that are considered highway, where you can't get on. There was AARP drivers for older Americans when I came here in 2001. And one of the things they said then that they don't say anymore is that if you're a little bit older in age, you shouldn't go on roads that are more than 40 miles an hour. And somebody that was the wife of a trustee got very incensed when I said, where will we be able to go? To our next door neighbor? Because the minute we exit Greenbrier 2, we're on roads that are 40 miles an hour and greater. We can't get anywhere. The roadways should have had intersections more often. I used to go to the Older Americans Traffic Safety run by the engineer Roden Lightbody. He talked about crashes. How many more pedestrian crashes have we had since Roden stopped holding them and passed away? Nobody holds them now, and nobody gives us information. He used to tell us how many were, what kind of traffic crashes, what were pedestrian crashes, where we need more signals. You drive out or try to drive into Greenbrier 2 from here when I go home, and I am an older American, a much older American than I was 21 years ago when I moved here, and nothing has been done to improve the lighting. There was work done on, well, it's difficult to say where it's Lanes Mill and where it's Chambers Bridge, but under the overpass for the Parkway, there is a very narrow roadway for cars going in both directions with a curb barrier and a big stretch of lawn. It is extremely dangerous. You don't have enough lighting on the streets after dark, and especially when you're going into, I have to turn my brights on just to go into Greenbrier 2 from the north. It is absolutely abominable that you sit here, you do nothing, day after day, meeting after meeting, year after year. And I suggest, as I said, get the National Traffic Safety to come in to a meeting here so that it is for the whole public, and people from Trenton to talk about whether this is still a rural residential or should the roadways, all of them, including in Greenbrier 2, that was built in 1987, finished, developer out as of that date. And you still have 30 miles an hour posted just as you come in and when you go out. That's the rest of the roadway in there. And there are areas that are turns and you can't see what's coming. It's disgusting.
Thank you. Anyone else from public? Sir, in the blue shirt?
Hello, so the big mouth. So I'm Joe Orth, I'm 30 Cleveland Ave. So first, I just wanted to say thank you to Mayor Ducey and your team for being so proactive in addressing the situation at 200 Van Zyl. We look forward as it progresses through the court system, so thank you. But secondly, I just wanted to bring to your attention 91 Hendrickson, which is a residential home that's being allegedly used as a dormitory for the high school on Van Zyl. As of tonight, we would like to let you know that the same person has purchased 226 Van Zyl. So now the synagogue/illegal boys school is owned by David Gluck, 91 Hendrickson, David Gluck, 226 Van Zyl, David Gluck. So I think we're seeing a story being written here, and it's not good, and we're concerned. So I'm just asking you to look into the situation. Residential neighborhood dormitories, and realize that people are being directly affected every day. And they're frustrated, and we're all frustrated. I guess in layman's terms, dormitories cannot be allowed to just spring up next to grandma and grandpa or next to a family with children in a residential neighborhood. It's a safety issue. So with all that said, if we don't strictly enforce our zoning and our land use ordinances, right now, we don't have a town. So respectfully, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else from public? Ma'am, in the white? Oh, sorry, she raised her hand, sorry. Okay, she did. That's okay.
Good evening. Hi. My name is Eileen Catalano, and I live at 82 Hendrickson Avenue in Brick. And as was just stated, we're a community that cares for one another and takes care of one another. And the boys' school that was illegally established, and I understand is going through the courts, I myself, I would just like to see it shut down as quickly as possible. We're a residential street, and we're not zoned for this boarding house that's going on. And at times at 91 Hendrickson, there has been approximately 19 people boarding in that single-family home. With that also, as was mentioned, other homes have presumably been purchased with the same intention to use as boarding homes for the school in our area. There are cars and day and night coming and going into 91 Hendrickson, cars, vans, dropping off and picking up the men that live there. The men that live there also walk the streets all hours of the day and night. These men are not looking to become part of our community on our blocks in that area or part of the Brick community. Their goal is not to abide by the rules of our community or for the betterment of our community. They seek to advance their own agenda at the expense of our community. They look not to assimilate, but to infiltrate and disembowel our community. This is made perfectly clear by the fact that with knowledge and forethought, they sought to circumvent the rules that our community has established and proceed with what they want compensation, recompense, or remorse for their unlawful actions. We need to rectify these brazen actions and send a message that we as a community stand behind our established laws, rules, and codes, and that we as a community will protect, care for, and nurture our present and future families of Brick. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from public? Sir? Yes.
Good evening, Richard Chulo, 215 Grant Avenue in Seaside Heights. These are very strange times in which we live. As a lifelong Republican, I can count exactly 0 times that I have stood before a governing body comprised of the opposition party to commend you for what you've done. Mayor Ducey especially, I watched you on the Facebook Live the other day. I think that you explained the lawsuit that the township has filed against the school very coherently, very direct, and certainly on point. So as I said, it's a little bit uncomfortable for me to say congratulations, but you've done a great thing. I've heard mention of the dormitories, and I've also come here tonight to caution you. Over the last 3 years or so, I can tell you that in your neighboring community of Lakewood, you've got, to my knowledge, 68 dormitories that are currently operating in the town, of which the township is aware of 9. That leaves an awful lot that are unaccounted for, and I would say, for lack of a better term, code enforcement is not aware of, and therefore they're not able to enforce the zoning. You've had 2 addresses brought to your attention tonight. I would emphasize to you, if you go back maybe 5 years ago with Jackson Township, and I'm sure the mayor's probably familiar with this, where the township tried to legislate the dormitory issue and found themselves in federal court. I implore you not to do that. There's literally no reason for you to put any type of legislation on the books in the town. The truth is that your existing ordinances, as I've read them, actually cover the legality of using a residential property for this purpose. It's a code enforcement issue, it's a zoning issue, and the zoning officer needs to be involved in both of those activities. I believe one of the gentlemen that's here this evening submitted some evidence to code enforcement the other day, where I think I noticed you shook your head when they said 19 people came out of the house. They're in possession of a video that will show you that. It's unequivocal. Similarly, at 226 Van Zyl earlier today, I can tell you I counted 7 individuals walking out of the house simultaneously and going directly to the school. Again, please, I beg of you, don't try to legislate your way out of this. It's just not worth it. Make sure that zoning is doing their job, make sure that code enforcement is doing their job, and I'm certain that you're going to get through this just fine. And again, I just really want to commend you for taking what I consider to be a very bold step last Friday. I understand, I think Judge Troncone has been assigned the case. Most of you are probably familiar with him. I think he's a Brick Township resident still. It's been my experience with Judge Troncone that he is a big fan of the law. He doesn't do much in the way of interpretation. I like your chances of success in getting the cease and desist that you sought, unlike Jackson Township only a month or 2 ago. I think you've taken proactive steps rather than reactive steps to an extent, and again, I think you should all be commended for taking that bold action. That's it.
Thank you. Anyone else from public? I have the Boy Scout. Come on up, hon. Name and address. Yep, you can talk right in the microphone. Your name and address.
Okay. I'm a Republican.
Well, hold on. What's your name?
Sorry
Name first.
about that. Vitaly Chukowski Szymanski.
And what's your address, hon? We just have to get it for the record.
What is it, like 17 Robertson?
We'll take it.
14 Robertson Court. Sorry about that.
You're on. Go ahead. I know. It's okay. You're on. Go.
Okay, so, as I said before, I'm a huge Republican. Now, I normally wouldn't be talking about this because I'm a Republican, but I believe in I haven't done school in a while. I believe in rebuilding this earth. I believe in unpolluting it and setting certain laws that you can't litter. Like, let's say some guy comes out of a bar and keeps his drink with him, and what he does is he just throws it on the ground, forgets all about it, all right? So then, little by little, all the litter always ends up in the ocean. And the ocean is one of our mainest points of food and resources. And so I think that since the plastic in the ocean, it never goes away. It's always there. It always gets into tinier and tinier plastics and gets on the fish, gets on all that stuff. And so I think that we should have more care for our oceans because I'm a major fish eater. I eat fish almost every day of the week. And so if we don't take care of our ocean, then we can't take the This is so hard.
Okay, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Okay.
Take a breath. You got this.
If we take care of our ocean and we take care of our land, we will always have food, and if we all work together in the end, we'll have the greatest country. We will have democracy, we'll have unlimited food, we'll have the greatest country, basically. All right, so when we just get rid of that plastic and dump it in the water, we're being careless. We need to find a garbage can, put it in there, and then we pretty much just saved like 20 fish. And the animals, they get stuck in the plastic sometimes, which, that breaks my heart. I've always loved animals since I was really little. And these animals are our food sources. Sorry about this. This is
you're doing
really
fine.
hard.
Yeah.
We need to keep our land unpolluted, and sometimes, even with the COVID-19 virus, some person will grab like their candy wrapper or whatever, which has COVID on it, and throw it on the ground. And then it gets in the ocean. It pollutes the fish. Then we can't eat the fish because they're gonna have diseases. And then some guy's gonna pull it out of the water, fillet it up, and eat it. And then he's gonna get COVID. Give it to the next guy. Cycle goes on and on. And so, which is why we need to make sure that we have a lot of garbage disposals ready in the area. Gotta have some, a lot of recycling too. Recycling is a good thing. More than good, actually. It's one of the best things that America has ever thought of. And I believe in recycling, and maybe that plastic bottle will get turned into like a newspaper, and then that newspaper will eventually get turned into a blanket somehow. Eventually, it will. And then that blanket will be given to a homeless person, and then they'll be able to...
You can finish your thought. Go ahead.
Okay.
Finish your thought.
And then we'll be able to let all the homeless people have a home, have money, have wealth, and be able to live and eat and have a family. And that's all.
Thank you. Great job. That's hard to talk in public. Good job. Thank you. Good job. It's hard to talk in public. It's not easy. Good job. Anyone else from public?
Council
Sir,
President, can I
yes.
just say something? I know this is a little out of order. I have to tell you, if we had a golden buzzer up here,
You would have gotten the golden buzzer. There you go.
Thank you.
Good job. Sir? Yes. Good luck.
I'm John DiGregorio. I live at 235 Pella
Oh, you want to pick the mic up now, you're a little taller.
Testing 1, 2.
Go ahead.
Did you hear that? Do I need to repeat it?
No, you're good.
Okay. So we've been residents in Bricktown for over 30 years. And when we had our house built on Pello back in '91, there wasn't as much traffic as there is now. So even the school that's at the end of the road by Hendrickson and Pello, that's increased in size with the administration building, the addition of another school partition there. So the situations that were brought up earlier about the alleged dorm and the supposed synagogue, which is really a boys' high school, it's more serious than you can imagine. The number of persons coming and going at that alleged dormitory is factual. It is at least 17, 18, 19, 20 people, and it's constant. The fact to have a dormitory in a development, I mean, that shouldn't even be allowed, right? And if we're going to have multiples, which seems apparent because the other homes that are being bought up on our street, there's 3 more sold. And it's, you know, it's the intention that there's a number, I hear of 16 additional homes that are being sought after. So with a finite number like that, it kind of tells you there's more on the agenda and there's something to come. But the traffic situation alone cannot allow another school at the Van Zyl-Hendrickson intersection. It's just unimaginable. Right now, I can't even get out of my driveway when school is in session because the school buses are coming up and down, even though years ago they designed Hendrickson and Harrison to receive and exit the buses with the wider entrances onto Van Zyl. That's all out the window. The traffic pattern change at the school, the Veterans Memorial, Brick Middle School, it's changed, and I think in a more disastrous way. There's almost head-on collisions on any given day. We've called the police. They see it. There's nothing they can really do. And then when COVID hit, the cars are lining up because the parents don't want their children to ride on the bus. And then the fact that their temperatures are being taken, and it's a good precaution, it's slowing things down. So the traffic from the school wraps all the way down across Hendrickson, blocking Pello out to Van Zyl. And the other person's coming in off of 70 onto Pello creates the other jam. So when I have to go to work and I ask somebody nicely not to scare the heck out of them, I said, can you move the car? So they're going, you know, onto oncoming traffic now, just so I can get out of the way, because the traffic will stay there for minutes and minutes. So when I can finally get out, I can't even get down the street because that's blocked up. But what's happening is the traffic is going towards the school from Hendrickson. The buses are pulling out from the back of the line, so now there's 2 lanes while other persons are exiting from the school and other persons trying to cut the line to make a left to go out on Hendrickson onto Van Zyl. And it's been more than once where I see, you know, close calls. So for the fact that we know students are, you know, they're going to school over there, and I don't think it's any surprise to anyone here. And living there, I'm telling you firsthand, it's happening. And that they want to put dormitories in there, and they're looking for additional housing. The plan is to have enough housing for students for the, well, alleged high school at the corner. So I think it's a critical situation. It's very serious. It needs a lot of attention, and it has to be dealt with very carefully. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from public? Seeing none, close public. And we are on to our council comments. Ms. Bergen?
None for me, thank you.
Mayor?
Thank you. Just want to say thank you to the Rotary Club for inviting me to speak at their meeting. There was a tray. It was a well-attended event, and got a lot of good questions there. Thank you for all the residents who took part in the fishing derby. That was early rising last Saturday from 6 in the morning till 9:30. And the Murphy family did very well. They came in first and second place with 2 of their sons.
But it was a great event. It's nice to have that small town feel here in Brick Township by having something like a fishing derby, and all the families to be able to enjoy themselves. And it seemed to me like there was a lot of parents fishing as well. I went to a grand opening over at the Shack, which is a new store down on Drum Point Road. Everybody should check it out. Also, I wanted to announce one of the things on the bill agenda that the council voted on earlier tonight was a payment to the county. It's very interesting because for 6 or 7 years I was fighting to try to get our hospital in town to pay taxes, basically, or a payment in lieu of taxes. Because there's a lot of for-profit things that go on at a hospital. There's doctors' practices, there's MRI facilities. So for years we were fighting for this, and we just received the first payment, which is 3/4 for the year, which is $240,000, of which the county gets 5% of it. So there's a payment on the bill of resolution, a little bit over $12,000. It's not, I'm talking round numbers. So we get about $320,000 a year from the hospital after a long battle. It was not only myself, it was definitely us and Jersey City and Elizabeth were the three main mayors in the state trying to say that basically there's a lot of services that go on. There's a lot of our services go in there, our police, our EMS, obviously, and because of the for-profit agencies that are inside the building that a lot of people don't think about. You think about a hospital, you think it's nonprofit and everything, but there's a lot of MRI facilities that get paid. There's different doctors' practices. So now we get $320,000 a year from the hospital, of which the county, get 5% of that. So, but thank you for, our CFO did a lot of work on it, but even more so, our tax assessor, Mike Kingsbury currently, but before that, it was Irene Raftery who did a lot of work on it, because so when Irene was here, it was real. We were doing a lot of work on it, and then it went into the courts. Once the issue went into the courts, then things kind of slowed down. But then we eventually were successful. So it's a big win for us here in Brick Township and other towns that have hospitals as well, as long as their mayors or council apply for the. Not everybody you don't get it automatically. You have to ask for it. Coming up is our last Traders Cove concert. That is tomorrow night. The Function Band will be at Traders Cove at 7 o'clock. And then Thursday night is our last Summerfest. We have Super Trans Am, which is 70 rock anthems, as well as yacht rock, along with our food trucks, our beer and wine garden, and of course fireworks afterwards. Friday is our last drive-in of the summer as well. It's getting sad because I'm talking about all the things that last of the summer of 2021. Our last drive-in is at Windward Beach at dusk. So whatever dusk is now, it's getting earlier and earlier, unfortunately. But it will be Tom and Jerry is the drive-in movie there at Windward. And you don't have to stay in your car. You can get out. You can sit on your tailgate, be in the back of a pickup truck, get out in chairs, tune in to 87.9 on your radio. You can hear it whether it's from a portable speaker or your car radio if you wish, or the actual movie itself has volume if you get out and sit in your chairs. And then just two events that are coming up in the future, which is right after the next council meeting, so I'd like to mention them now, is our September 11th ceremony is going forward. It's a Saturday this year. September 11th is on a Saturday, but we still will have it at 6 o'clock p.m. to keep up with our tradition here in Brick Township. So please come out to Windward Beach. Our fire departments will be there, our police honor guard, and our clergy from across the town to do a ceremony to honor the 7 members of Brick Township community that died on September 11th. And then the next day, which is Sunday the 12th, is Kite Fest from 11 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock p.m. over at Brick Beach 3. And this year we're doing something different with our Kite Fest. Instead of us residents flying our kites, we're bringing professionals in to do a kite show. So please come check it out. There'll be kites for sale as well, and of course you could probably fly your own kite at some point while they're changing, whatever they're doing as far as the professionals. But it's 11 to 4 on Sunday, September 12th, and of course there's other events that are coming up all fall, but I just wanted to fill you in on those couple because they're coming in quick. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Starkey? Madam Clerk?
Nothing, thank you.
Madam Secretary?
Nothing, thanks.
Councilwoman Zapsik?
Thank you, Council President. I would just like to congratulate Sophia Gonzalez on her silver award and Tyler Reinhardt on his Eagle Scout, and that's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Minikino.
Thank you. I'd also like to congratulate Tyler and Sophia on their awards, and also this young gentleman here that stood here for 5 minutes and talked. Listen, I do a lot of public speaking. It's not the easiest thing. Pause. Remember to breathe. You did a great job. You did an amazing job. Keep it up. And it doesn't matter, Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. Public speaking is tough. You did an amazing job. You should be very proud of yourself. Your parents should be very proud of you. You did an amazing job. You're very welcome.
Councilwoman Dion.
Yes, thank you. I went to the grand opening with Mayor Ducey. It is the Shack Local Mercantile, and they're off of Drum Point Road. They are also a buy-in brick business with a 5% rebate up to $50. It's a really great little shop down on Drum Point. It's towards the end by Mandalay and Shore Acres. And what it is, it's a shop that carries mostly brick and Ocean County artisans. They have wood carving, they have jewelry, they have paintings, they have magnets, you name it, they have it. And they do change their inventory with the season. So right now it's all beachy stuff. She's moving into, of course, the fall stuff, and then Christmas and so on. But this shop is really what the buy-in brick program is all about. I mean, you shop locally to get a rebate on your taxes, and not only at this shop are you shopping locally, but you're supporting our local artists as well. Those people that, you know, don't do Etsy or anything and want to really, really support and be local. It's really what the town is all about. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Mumolo.
Thank you. Congratulations to Sophia and Tyler on their Silver Award and the Eagle Scout Award. Those are very accomplished things for them to do. Great job. And young man that got up and spoke did great. Keep up the good work. I make mistakes. Did you hear me when I was reading?
He does all the time.
It's all good. It's all good. You have to have fun. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. I echo the sentiments of all of my fellow council members, and with that, I would like to say that our next scheduled meeting is going to be Tuesday, September 14th at 7 p.m. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you for coming out this evening.